Hey, thanks, man.
Yeah.
We did it.
Welcome back. Don't worry, I'm of age to drink this.
You're not on camera.
We're not
You
on
have
camera.
to-
They can't see us.
Have
Well,
to
they can hear me.
We can
The
see
stream
us.
I'm drinking.
This
They
is
can't
for
see
us.
us.
How dare you? You denied the world my ugliness.
Yeah,
You bitch.
they can see you in the earlier seasons.
All right, are we
Slash
starting?
episodes. Yeah,
We
we're
are
live.
starting.
We're live.
We're live.
We are live. This is all recorded. Yes, we are back for some DnD. For our players here, happy 2-ish year anniversary, slightly, I guess. That's cool.
Yeah, 2 years. Woo.
How about a quick recap of what happened last time?
Quintet died.
Vinteth is dead.
Yep. Drowned in a pool of blood.
He's coming back as a Warforged because that's what we agreed to.
It is. There's a pact. Valir, you made your way out of the open sea tavern, took in the sights, were confronted by some sharply dressed individuals, all in 3-piece suits, basically saying that the person that was looking for you had left, and strongly encouraged that you needed to go home. With some smooth talking and a little bit of persuasion on your part, you convince them to give you some time, talk to your party, let them know what situation, that you would be willing to come with them. Just, no need for the theatrics and,
Yeah. I
get it.
seduced my way out.
Yes. But you broke from them. You went back, started making your way back towards the docks where your party was to have a conversation, to let them know what's up. Seven, Saishori, and Revi, you guys convened in the streets outside of Way Schmelted and Deltit after leaving Suji after some shopping and getting Suji set up to start working on armor for Tinkers. You guys had some conversations. A sword was identified. Seven tested out the Speakback Rock with a less than ideal phrase placed in it. Revi was reminded of simple magic that he was able to do.
Mhm. Sometimes we forget things.
Sometimes it's the little things, it's the basic stuff, But you were able to identify the weapon that you bought from Wei as a pretty special magical greatsword that has the ability to essentially gain a favorite enemy by connecting with different creatures and tuning it to that type of creature, essentially. You were eventually reconvened with Valir. He filled you in on some of what was going on. You all agreed to take the couple days that you had, leave town, get to Schmidt, get him the Manicore's blood, make your way back and deal with what comes next. Potentially making your way up towards Valir's hometown, or getting to the capital and hijacking the airship that they're going to take. Who knows? We'll find out when we get there, I guess. Vinteth, you made your way over to the Bleeding Heart of Soren Lin. Small temple, kind of off the beaten path. Basic stonework, but still very carved etchings of different depictions of the holy symbol of Soren Lin on the stonework to kind of give you an idea of, this is still a temple to her. As you walked inside, you didn't see anybody coming or going, and you saw no people, no pews, no altar, nothing that really gave off a place of reverence or a place of, a church. But as you made your way inside, you saw 5 of these standing pools on the floor. And as you got closer to inspect, realized that they were pools of blood.
Beautiful. Pools of blood.
As you waited in this area, kind of calling out to see if anybody was around. Eventually, making their way out of one of these pools, you see at first covered in blood, but thinner than you would expect, thinner of a coat than you would expect from somebody who just emerged out of this type of pool. And even as they walked out, this kind of dripping and like removal of the blood and no staining or dampness on their person. A elven woman, um, hard to tell with elves, but probably later in her years. You were introduced to Tress Florel, the priestess, the caretaker of this particular temple. You conversed for a bit, and eventually you asked if you could take a plunge, say a prayer yourself, give reverence to the mother. She was open to the idea. You asked to use the pool that she had just come out of. She smiled and pointed you in. She walked in, the cool touch of blood as it wrapped around your form. You get in, and again, you could walk down these slight staircase and get to the bottom. It's maybe 8 to 10 feet. Each pool is about 8 to 10 feet around. But as you came down the stairs, they're only about maybe 4.5, 5 feet deep. So you're still able to stand when you get to the bottom. You took a breath, submerged your head. That's where we'll pick up. So, Vinteth.
Hi.
Hi. Eyes open, taking in you're enveloped by the pitch blackness of just being surrounded by this pool of thick blackish red liquid. Can't see a hand in front of your face, let alone make out any other shapes or movement. The pool is calm. You sit there for 5, 10, 15 seconds, just taking it in. I have 2 questions. First is a simple one. Second one is probably a more complex one. First, are you holding your breath?
It's a good question. I was gonna ask you, is like, do I have to breathe?
I think out of instinct, Vinteth probably took a breath when he submerged himself, but it is up to you whether or not you believe you need to breathe or not, or choose to breathe. The second is, what is Vinteth thinking? What is forefront of his mind at this moment?
Do I think I'm holding my breath at first. Yeah. I'm not thinking anything in particular. I'm just reaching out to the mother, just straight up, just doing that prayer thing. Like, Mother, I'm here. I found my way here. Just listening for a response. Anything. I'm not saying anything direct yet.
So I guess my question is, what is your Constitution modifier?
1.
1. As you sit in darkness, kind of letting the blood envelop you, reaching out your consciousness to the mother and seeing what type of response yet. A minute or so goes by. You start to get closer and closer to that feeling of when you're holding your breath, and start to get that tight pain of I need either to breathe or to, something has to change. Like you get that you're towards the end of the breath that you've taken.
I'm staying under.
Give me a religion check and a constitution saving throw.
Religion 6. On save.
Good start.
Nat 20.
Hey, nice,
Oh.
nice. Okay. Perfectly balanced.
Another 15, 20 seconds go by. You ignore that feeling in your chest. You free focus yourself. Another 10 seconds, 20 seconds. You start to realize that as you're trying to reach out to the mother, you're focusing more on holding your breath and keeping yourself down here than you are towards prayer at this point. You feel that fire in your chest, that scratching at your lungs, that need of oxygen, that fight or flight feeling that your body gives, and you're able to push that down, but that is taking up the most of your concentration right now, and you don't feel like you're fully reaching out at the moment.
I am going to say fuck it and stop holding my breath and breathe in the blood. In the back of my mind, I'm like, I can flick cast water breathing if I start like actually choking, but I'm putting full faith in the mother. This place, the blood.
Vinted, as that burning sensation in your chest starts to come to fruition, you're like, I either need to take a breath or get out of here. Through an act of faith, you open your mouth. You feel the cold liquid rush past your teeth and gums, and if not for an experience a few days ago where you had used your spell of water breathing and had the sensation of breathing liquid, your body would be fighting this full-heartedly, trying to what are you doing? Why are you breathing liquid right now? But you are able to kind of push past that. You feel the heavy, thick blood start to make its way down your esophagus into your lungs. Give me... I need a perception check and a religion check, this time with advantage.
25 perception. 16 religion.
Getting better. Fintech, as you focus for a second, you have that panic moment, but then you're able to kind of push it down of like, what am I doing? I just breathed in blood. But it doesn't take long for you to be comforted as you take in the blood and you're breathing. You're fine. That sensation of burning is gone. You're still completely submerged. And as you focused on that for just a second, you realize the floor beneath your feet is no longer there. You are now You reach out in each direction, and you are completely submerged in this blood. There's no floor. There's nothing above you or below you, just the pool itself.
I'm gonna let go of that idea of casting water breathing and just float. Try to concentrate and reach out.
Vinteth, as you give in and you just kind of float there in this vacuum, this empty space, this viscous liquid holding you kind of aloft in your space. Your mind settles. It reaches out once again. You feel a warmth that is comforting and stronger than you've probably felt in a long time. Possibly ever.
I'm gonna say as if I'm in prayer. Mother, I believe I've come home.
Vinteth, give me a persuasion check first. I want to see what that.
5. 5.
Cool. Great. All right, so no problem with that. With that, give me just a straight religion check.
20.
Cool. As you kind of reach out into this space again, and you home. The feeling of being home. Vinteth, I will give you a choice right now. Past, present, or future.
Future.
Vinteth, as you have this feeling of home, being here, you're surrounded by blood, you're surrounded by this thick, viscous, comforting, once frigid, but now you feel a warmth growing from inside you and kind of starting to radiate outward. So you continue to reach out to the mother, and you continue this thought and this feeling of being here, being home, being in this place that comparatively to the places you've been today, even just felt wrong, and this feels right. Your eyes blink. You feel the thick blood kind of get pushed out of your eyelids and as you close and open them. You blink a second time, a third time. You feel as you open them bits of light and pieces of scenery start to come into focus. You see as if you are emerging from this particular pit of this pool of blood, the church around you. Give me a perception check.
20. 20.
As you look around, you see three of the pools dried up. You look to the ceiling, part towards the back crumbled. You look down, you see your hands, but not your hands.
Fuck.
They're elven. They're still the same race, but they're not yours. You know what your hands look like. What do you want to do?
Try to look at the rest of me, my body. Can I see any more of my body?
You look down and you're wearing not your clothes. They are simple. They are still in the fashion and style of, elven robes. They still have familiar coloration and markings of sword and lin, but continuing with your 20, you do not have a feeling of being in your own body.
I try to speak. I'm still in the blood, right?
You are emerging from the blood currently in this form. You
Oh.
are walking out of one of these pools, and first thing you notice again is the ceilings collapse, and towards the back of the temple, three of the other pools have all dried up and are like not moving, and not that like viscous blood that you saw when you first walked in. With a 20, it's nighttime. You can see the dark of the night still creaking in through that hole in the ceiling.
I'm gonna get up and try to walk. Once my head gets up, I want to try to speak, see if I recognize the voice.
As you exit the rest of the pool, you see as the blood drips off of you and back into the pool itself, it doesn't leave the radius as you break the threshold of the stairs. Make a history or insight check for me.
10.
10. As you go to speak, the voice that comes out is not yours. That is easy enough to know, but it's not a voice you've heard before. But as you finish your ascent out of the pool, you see, as you take in your bearings, from towards the back, you see a familiar sight. You see slightly ragged robes, a little bit disheveled. Tress approaches you. My gods, what have you done?
What have I done? I don't even know who I'm supposed to be right now.
Foreign, this isn't funny.
Fucking knew it. Fucking knew it. Foreign. You just called me foreign. Foreign, like foreign Singal. I'm foreign Singal right now.
This isn't the time for jokes, Foreign. Things have gotten bad here, okay?
What's happened, Tress? Tell me.
Give me another Constitution saving throw.
12.
As you start to have this conversation with Tress, and again, it's not hearing this other voice coming out of you. It is much deeper in pitch. Parts of your vision start to grow fuzzy. Start to fuzzy is the best way to describe it to a fantasy character. But to you, it's almost like pixelated. Like you start to see like parts of the image are fading in and out, are starting to like get really grainy in places. You see the church around you start to kind of fade out of image, and all you can see now is like you're focusing in on Tress and little bits of this night that's pouring through behind her. Give me a nature check as well.
16.
Damn, not bad. You've been out traveling recently, more so than you've ever had, and night is not something that's ever, that foreign a concept to you. You used to spend many nights just outside, taking in the quiet of the graveyards and doing your jobs at night. The glow that's coming through what's left of it's in your vision of this outside, it's not natural. It's not a normal night sky. There's a hint of gray, a pinch of just lack of color, almost like a neutral light, essentially. Things that it illuminates are almost dulled comparatively to things further in the room. Tress goes to speak again. Her words start to kind of muffle. Parts of the sentence drop out. But you've waited too. Give me a. Let's call it insight. Why not? Sounds good.
20.
20. You start to have to piece together broken parts of a sentence using kind of just the context clues and the few words you can get out. Something took too long. He took too long. His return should have been sooner. Something's happened. Something bad. The last bit you get before you blink and wind up back in the pitch darkness of the pool, feeling the blood kind of equally returning yet never leaving your form. The last bit you got from Tress as you kind of returned to your state was the arrival. And you saw kind of something, she said something after that, but the words just kind of escape you as you find yourself back in the pool. Quiet. Not moving.
I'm just kind of gonna take that all in, freak the fuck out internally for a second, and then just try to reach out again. Like, no, I need to see more. Mother, please, I need to see more.
What is your, other than just asking for this, what is your state of mind? What are you thinking at the forefront right now?
I'm thinking about that guy that told me to seek Foreign Singal and then dissolved into a pool of blood. And now I'm like, I just became Foreign Singal. What the actual fuck is going on? I need answers from Tress. I need answers from somebody. They're connected. This bitch knows something. The vision had to have come from the mother, because who the fuck else would give this to me? I need more.
Vintet, as you have these thoughts and you're thinking about Foreign Singal and the interactions you've had with different people who've seemed to have interacted with him, you reach out to the mother again and again and look for answers and look for something else to cling on to, something else to add to this puzzle that's constantly growing in your head. In the worst possible way. The pool is comforting. It's that level of a parent consoling a child where parent may not know necessarily what the toddler wants. So all they know to do is to wrap their arms around you and give you a hug. But you, as a living, breathing person and has a want and a need, you can appreciate the comfort, but it's not what you want. It's not what you need in this moment.
I'm gonna cross my hands across my chest in the usual symbol swirl in. I'm gonna take a deep breath of the blood. I'm going to, as hard as I can, project my will that I need more about Foreign Singal if I'm going to follow this path. Like, she's led me here. You've led me here, mother. Multiple people have said, seek Foreign Singal. People have laughed me away and said they want nothing to do with it. I found my way here. I am on this path. You've shown me that something is coming. What is coming? Where is Foreign? What is coming? Please.
Give me one more religion check.
22.
Solid.
as you force your will outward. You start to feel your body rapidly forcing itself to being forced, not by itself, but by something else's volition, towards the surface. Rapidly, what you can best describe as up from where your head is, moving upward. As your face begins to breach the pool, not in the slow, dignified manner that Tress did, or the way you had when you were in Foreign's body, a forceful exertion of yourself, basically propelled out of it. You do hear a voice just kind of at the back of your head, just as your head starts to breach. What you've seen is what's to come. What has happened has not happened yet.
I'm gonna expel all the blood out of myself. Take a deep breath, and I'm going to frantically look around and yell, "Tress!"
You do. As you exit, you expect, like, one with the water breathing spell, like, you would breathe the last bit of water out, and then you kind of like resettle, but no blood like exits your body.
Huh.
But as you start to step out, you do feel that like sensation of any blood that's on you is kind of like whisking away and kind of getting returned back to the pool. Tress is standing there, waiting.
Tress, you and I have some talking to do.
I look forward to it. Meanwhile, Valir, Saishori, Seven, and Revi, you guys have been making your way. You are on your way to which church? Forget if you established that last time.
I don't think we did.
We didn't.
I think we were just gonna check out whichever one was closer. I don't think we had a concrete plan.
Cool. Right, yeah. So, Revi, you were able to remember the churches that in town that Vinteth wanted to go to. Where you are here. Yeah, so the closest one to here would actually be the Bleeding Heart of Sorenlin.
No!
We did it, guys. We did it, guys.
If I'm leading, then I know perfectly well that the churches are that way. So
Follow
I'm
Revi
hoping
back to
someone else is
Yeah.
leading.
You guys follow Revi back to the docks once, and you're like, "Oh, right, okay." You ask some directions from somebody in town. Again, it's early morning. There's a lot of people out. Easy enough. You get directions. Most people, the first person you talk to knows where the churches of Sorenlin in town are. But takes you probably 15, 20 minutes or so. You make your way through town, and approach this simple stone building. Was there anything you guys wanted to discuss on your walk, or you just beelining it?
I'd like to beeline it.
Yeah, we just want to find him and get going. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. 2 seconds to go to the bathroom.
Motherfucker.
Good call, me too.
I'm just gonna keep
Yeah, might as well.
freaking hitting my rock buttons and piss off the entire town.
I'll be back.
All right. Joe, which things did I send you?
Well, that was an experience.
It is. I'm gonna have to go fight your whole church now.
You're staying the fuck outside.
Nope.
That was perturbing. The arrival that tracks with the grandfather cometh. This bitch knows foreign Senegal. I was foreign Senegal. What the fuck is happening?
You're about to get. I don't know, dude. The only thing I know is that I am extremely tired from all these monsters.
That's not good.
My brain's broken. It's exactly how it's supposed to be. Probably the only reason I've been able to sleep.
Yeah, caffeine puts him to bed. He's an ADHD boy.
Yeah. I've only had 800 milligrams today.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, caffeine doesn't give you energy. It just blocks the fucking chemicals to your brain that tells you you're tired. So essentially you just keep putting it off, that eventually you're gonna fucking crash.
Oh no, like they actively put me to sleep every time I drink one. Stimulants don't work that way in me.
Give him
So
some
this
meth, and
poison
he's
was
taking a
just-
nap.
Oh, you were up for 3 days? I slept for 3. Oh. I think I want to buy this because it will cost me $5 with my coupon. And it's pretty. Our blue switch is loud.
What? What are you talking about?
Our blue switch is loud.
Yes, they're clicky. Remember my old keyboard that goes click, 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 like super loud? Yeah, it's like that. Yeah.
All right, how many? Which does this work? Does it work for 3 and 5 or just 3? It doesn't tell me.
Like my mood lighting.
Oh wait,
In the blood pool.
I know what we can talk about now on the walk over to the church. I remembered.
Have to do with hats.
It does not. No hats.
Whoops.
It's what people do with their hot mouths.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I didn't realize this section was going to get so sexy.
Well, everyone keeps refusing to explain to me what it is, so I now have my first question for
What is? Oh, romance.
yeah, romantical love.
Romantical.
Yeah, romantical love. All right, perfect. It works for both.
All right, 7, take it away.
So who is going to explain to me romantic love?
Ravi just turns and looks at Zaishuri.
Don't look at me. I've never experienced such a thing. You should tell me what romantic love is too.
You follow the goddess of love. You
There's
have
all
to at
kinds of
least-
love.
You gotta have at least a decent definition for him.
DMs have a definition for it.
Zaishuri, do you have a decent definition for it?
I'm just gonna bully you out there.
I can't tell you what your character feels about romantic love.
Yeah. Look.
You can give a textbook answer. You would be the one to have the textbook definition of what romantic love is.
That's
Like,
what I
Give me a
think.
second here. Romantic love.
What is romantic love? Google gets confused. Is there a 14-year-old living in this house?
A type of love in which intimacy and passion are prominent features. This includes sexual arousal is an important component of this type of love.
Oh.
Okay, now 7.
Did
Are you good
Dory
with that?
was Dory aroused? I didn't hear him cling.
Yeah,
Secret crowds Google.
his interest was quite aroused.
I just stare at the ground.
Oh,
And this
no.
conversation goes on for the next 15 minutes or so, as long as 7 keeps it going.
Yeah.
Everyone's feeling awkward as you guys approach the Church of Soren Lin.
Yeah. So it goes in you. What?
I can't.
I don't think that's good. I'd avoid that.
7, I have a feeling you're probably not going to have to worry about it. So,
Good.
Okay, can everybody except for Suji roll a d20 for me?
D20?
Yep.
the dice giveth, and the dice taketh away.
Terrible. Well, we'll see.
What do you got, Vintev?
Oh, I was supposed to roll. Shit.
Are you everyone that's not Suji?
I'm in the fucking church. I don't know what's happening.
I don't have anything to do about the church. Okay, so as all of you approach the front of this, again, unassuming, small brick or solid stone building, Revi and actually all of you at this point now recognize, you do see kind of familiar, the symbols of Sorenlin are kind of etched into the stone. You see the two hands kind of grasping together, clasped together with the briars or thorns that are wrapped around it, and there's kind of this like the thorns kind of go around the threshold of the front of this doorway, and as you all make your way inside, just in time to see Vinteth emerge from a pool of blood and just say, Tress, we need to have a conversation.
Oh.
That's where we'll pick up.
Oh my gosh.
Did you make romantic love?
I can't help myself at this point. Okay, that's Brad the player. God damn it.
Gosh.
Vintath, you have got to be fucking kidding me.
Out!
We left you for an hour.
Out!
I warned you, Zaishuri.
Hey, at bare minimum, the elves have every right to be here. No offense, I'm sure.
Oh. I'm just gonna stare at
Yeah.
Tress angrily and
Like, I
gesture
don't even
towards
need-
them. My party, sister.
Hello. I'm Tress
Uh.
Forel. I'm the keeper of this temple. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Hi, Tresh. Raviel Donshard. But just so I don't have any more shocks on this crazy day, can you just tell me how many bodies we should expect when we make our way to the basement? Because I don't need any more surprises. Oh, he's rolling. I'm hoping he's rolling for her being offended and not for number of bodies.
You'll never know. I'm sorry, bodies in the. Well, we don't have a basement. It's just the one floor.
Oh, well, all right then. Well, I can say this for sure. The pools of blood threw me, but definitely not the worst thing I've seen in a church of Soren Lindner. I kind of gesture towards the rest of the group, just kind of looking around, like bewildered at this point.
Just 7 even. And just still be wild about the romantic love thing and stuff, things, and like. Looking with robot disgust. Oh.
What is that, Roach?
I said, she kind of looks at you and she's like, you certainly travel with a lively bunch.
This is where the mother guided me to. These are the people that the mother guided me to. Do you have an antechamber where we could speak in private? Anything?
She kind of looks around. It's like, unfortunately, I mean, here, no, it's just the room with the pools.
The elves can stay. 7, Zaishori, out.
Why?
Are you an elf?
No.
Were you created by the mother?
I don't know.
No. No, you were not.
How do you know?
You worship
You share-
Rugbarg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vinteth, you know I was kidding before, right? You said it yourself. That I mean, we've seen human followers of the mother.
No, it's fine. It's fine. If the elves want to know, the elves can know. The other two, out.
Ugh.
Wow.
We'll,
I thought we were comrades.
we'll tell you afterwards.
Did you just yell that?
Yes.
Okay. I guess it's something about just inside the church. I'm not going to try to pass this logic out. If he doesn't tell you, I'll tell you both later.
I just gave 7 a little pat. Let's go.
I didn't even hit the church or anything.
It's an elf thing.
Oh.
Yeah, Vintat 7 didn't even hit the church or anything. He controlled himself.
I appreciate that. We can talk after. This is important. You guys interrupted a very important conversation that I didn't even get to start. And I'm going to grab my Holy Book of Soren Lin. I'm going to look at fucking Tress. I'm going to open it. I'm going to point to the fucking name, Foreign Singal, in the book. And then I'm just going to stare at her and like judge her reaction.
Look, he's had a lot of trouble recently. Just let him try to reconnect.
He was trying to whisper such. Was he trying to romantic love that lady?
I don't think so.
Oh, gross.
I hope not.
Vinta, give me an insight check.
13.
as you open the book and you point to the front page where his name and your name are, and you point to Foreign Singal, she looks at it and it's like, I mean, I'm very please let's talk. Is your first experience in the pool? I'm not familiar with what you're showing me at the moment, but please let's talk. Let's you clearly had some sort of moment, epiphany.
I think the word you're looking for is vision, sister. Having to do with this name. A name that the vision confirms, should it be real, which I'm assuming, considering that this is the Temple of the Mother, is real, you know very well. I don't mean to sound so hostile, they just aggravate me.
It's quite all right. Please, she kind of gestures now, watching Saishori and Seven walk out to Revi and Valir. If you guys are still standing at the doorway, as you were.
Yeah, I'll come forward.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I apologize for my my crass remarks. I've gained a new perspective on deities and religious servitude as of late.
Only took a beating.
So let me start over. Should I call you Tress? Tress Farrell, Priestess?
Tress is fine.
Pleasure, Tress. I will be quiet and let you two talk.
Finteth, I do apologize. I don't think I've ever come across someone of that name before. The best you can tell, she's telling the truth. Like, you're trying to like read her reaction. She didn't like double take or. Are you? Is this someone you've come into contact with before? You said you were.
It's someone I've been tasked to find by whoever the previous owner of this book was. I've asked for guidance from the mother for the past year or so, and every time I ask if I'm going the right direction, if I have something to do with Florence and Gaul, if I'm just fucking anything up, I've been reassured that this is the right path. And it's led me here, which seemed to be that the mother has some kind of plan in place. Something is in the works. Something is coming. What that something is shouldn't be, I believe, but from what I saw, something bad is happening. You were waiting for this name, this person, Foreign Segal, to come back. That he was late. He took way too long.
I would like all three of you to make insight checks.
Man, bad day. No, if I really want to know what's going on here, I'm gonna Well, sometimes you're just not supposed to know, and we have to accept those things.
Shun the non-believer.
That's fair.
Yeah. Revi and Vinteth, you both as they're having this, as Vinteth and Tress are having this conversation. She doesn't seem to be giving off nothing seems to be striking a chord. She's listening and taking in the information, but doesn't seem to be reacting particularly positive, negative, shocked, or knowing about what Vinteth is talking about. But Valir, the moment Vinteth says something is coming, you see it's quick, it's but a moment, just that slight acknowledgement of knowing or having that same feeling kind
Yeah.
of her eyes, and then she quickly like stows herself back to kind of like her normal thing.
Oh, okay.
You catch just a glimpse of it, like
Like a quick, like little eyebrow raise.
yes.
Yeah. Tress, what was that look? Seemed kind of like you know what he meant.
Give me a persuasion check.
Eh,
I'll say with advantage because Vinteth is dropping some straight facts right now.
No lies told.
Fuck.
It's pretty good. You see her kind of take a deep breath and kind of like looks at the three of you. I've been overseeing this temple for a long time. I've been a follower and a priestess of the mother for pretty much my entire life at this point. There always there was always rumors and ghost stories about something that, you know, the idea that the siblings are that they were siblings. That was how they were described. It's Crowan and Soren Lin, the siblings, and they came when they came to Zelenkov, and they created, you know, humans and elves and all the other races, and they pushed back the elemental chaos. It was always in human nature, and we all know this, that if people are siblings and are described historically as such, what created them?
Well, it would
To be-
stand to reason that since they're siblings, they have parents.
And that has always been the loose rumors and theories that have come up over the years.
Okay, but have you ever heard a story about the grandfather specifically?
Insight checks everyone.
Mm.
Two?
Okay. All right, we're doing one more. It's my third minor. Stay. I really want to know. Ah, damn it. All right, it's a 12 then. That'll be good enough.
DC on this one is very low, as you mentioned the
Okay.
grandfather, and kind of in the knowing tone that you have had, the fact that you've heard this said before, Vinteth. She does not do a very good job of hiding her emotion on this. There is like that moment of like you're like you can see somebody's stomach drop. Like you see that she is quick to pick it back, like to steal herself again, as she is a trained priestess and understands how to resolve herself. But just the constant conversation and the fact that you are bringing up terms and words and things that she was not ready to have this conversation about caught her off guard. And you can see like the pit in her stomach drops for a second, and she like yes, that is a term I've heard used quite recently.
By who?
Various I've had a couple of followers that have come here and said their prayers like anybody else, and again, much as we talk as her as our mother as she is, have started to talk bits and pieces about the grandfather, the parent of the mother. Um, at first, I just, smiled and said, of course, silly rumors and things that don't pertain to this world, as the siblings came here and created the world, and we don't need to, as much as it is, yes, we have to, it is fun to theorize and understand where the gods of our world came from. That has no bearing on the current world, because he's never, like, the parents have never been here. It's just been the siblings, and that's, there's no proof or disproof that they exist, so it was not a problem. Um, but I've over the last month or so have had increasing I myself have had increasing visions of something impending, something coming to this world that is not of this world.
I don't believe the rumors anymore,
Something,
sister.
someone, good, bad. Is it going to destroy us? What?
It's again, you have to imagine the fact of, I mean, I know she looks at Vinteth, the presence of the gods themselves in the little fraction that we get to experience as followers, devout, as people who have been touched by the divine in any way possible. Actually, no, doesn't see shit. um the gods, Soren Lin, Crowan, Lux Forna, like, they in of themselves are all, like, to us, feel infinite, feel massive, feel beyond us. To feel something that is more encompassing than that, is almost too much for us to comprehend.
This all sounds profound, but I must pose the question. Yeah, I mean, wait, what does that mean? Does that mean Soren Lin is not a goddess? I mean, and even if she's not, isn't the primary reason you follow her due to her actions, what she did for us? I mean, maybe it's just something that can't be described but must be experienced. I won't deny that possibility. But I don't, maybe I'm not quite grasping why these people would come in here, having been such devout followers of her, and simply, start making remark or prayer to this grandfather. He was not their creator, not mine. I may not follow her, but I do understand the logic. To me, whether she was the one above all seemed irrelevant, at least in my elementary understanding of your followers.
Well, I don't. You are correct, and I don't believe it is. Look, what I've been feeling, what I've sensed in the last month or so is not. I cannot tell you if it's good or bad. it is overwhelming, to say the least. It is a suffocating presence to an extent, as much as even, again, just the feeling of a god's presence is also suffocating. But this is a lot. I don't believe any of
Vinteth, have you experienced this?
When I got this book, this holiest of books, the man I got it from dissolved into a pool of blood, and his last words to me were, "The grandfather cometh. Seek Forens and Gaul." The vision I saw tonight was you, Tress, looking worse for wear, this place in shambles, the ceiling destroyed, the blood pools all but one dried up. And you said to me, "Foreign, what took you so long?" Essentially saying things are really bad, the arrival is upon us. So, whatever knowledge you do or don't have now, Tress, the task that was sent to me from the man who gave me this book, I'm also giving to you. You need to figure out who the fuck Foreign Singal is, what is coming, if it is the grandfather or something else. Shit's hitting the fan real quick, and we have no information.
Vinteth, give me an insight or I'll give you religion. Insight or religion.
My insight's higher. Pray for me. 13.
Okay.
As you're having this conversation, you're trying to like remember the vision you had, the words that you heard spoken, like things that were you kind of start to piece some of this together. The vision: crumbled ceiling, pools dried up, something that has not happened yet, but will happen, could happen, as you know briefly about the books of fate and how they operate. As you think about those words that were said to you as you kind of exit the pool, what has happened has not happened yet. Kind of starts to hit you right now that Tress is not lying. Tress is not. You've read her between you and Valir and Revi. She has not met or know the name Foreign Singal yet.
That's fair.
I feel like me tasking her with that is like setting us down this fucking negative path. Oh shit! All right,
Vinteth, whoever this foreign Singal is, we look, we find him. I wish you had told us more earlier.
Revi, do you remember when we spoke to the information broker known as Chauncey?
Yes, I do.
Do you remember when I handed him a slip of paper?
Yes, and then he immediately told us that he was leaving, I believe. That's when he said he was fleeing town, right?
And he started laughing maniacally and said, "Fuck that!" And just
Yes.
yes. Guess what name was on that paper?
Ah.
Yeah.
I see. Well,
I don't have I don't have any answers. All I have are more questions.
Yes, this was just information that just led to
Wait.
more questions. I agree with you, Vintef.
But Tress, do you still, despite this presence you felt, do you still maintain your connection to Soren Lin?
I've never felt my connection wane. No.
Okay, I was just curious if it was possible that this grandfather's presence was disrupting her in some way.
I was
Never mind.
just thinking that because back before we came here in my hometown, something very powerful was disrupting my connection to her. And it was
Good.
the mother who saved us and told us to run. We don't know what it was, but it wasn't good.
Have you ever encountered a city of ghosts? Personally, I'd never encountered a single ghost.
Nope.
And then all of a sudden, city of them.
Tons of them, everywhere.
I mean, I've encountered ghosts, but usually it's an apparition, maybe two if you're unlucky, or if you find a particularly haunted city. You say?
Well, town. Minimum tens of them. I don't know what the population of your hometown is. Vintef.
Couple hundred.
Yes, there you go.
Small city. Small city.
This is just the ones that were in my immediate vision. So, but yes, probably all of them based on what we saw
And heard.
and heard.
That was a lot of screams.
That is.
It seems like, at least Vintef described it, I believe, as an affront to the mother, which certainly makes sense to me. Talk about spitting in the face of the natural passage between life and death. Whole fucking town of them.
Yes, general undead and necromantic arts are a severe slight against the mother, not allowing one's soul to pass on to their final resting place. Even as it's especially ghosts, zombies. The reanimation of corpses tends to be frowned upon, but less of a slight against the mother, because while the body is sacred, once the soul has left it, that is truly where the mother's protection does lie. But yes, ghosts particularly, that is truly unsettling.
I just kind of look at Vintef like, well, okay, good. I didn't want to say it. I didn't know if you were going to, but
Fine.
since it's out there, what could cause this sort of disruption in his connection? I mean, I can attest to my time with Vintef. He is a devout follower of the mother. There's no reason that I can see he should be cut off from her.
I'd like to attest that it's my strength and my connection to the mother that saved our asses back there.
I agree. That was convincing.
You see Trust kind of takes a moment, just thinking to herself, and breathes deeply and looks at the place around you, looks at these 5 pools. Something powerful enough to trap and raise an entire town, a few hundred people, even as it is. There are powerful necromancers and things of that ilk that could accomplish such a thing, but for it to happen and not you see her kind of look at she looks at the pool behind her to the left, kind of the one closest to the door, essentially where you guys came in. For a slight of that magnitude to have not been felt by myself here is troubling.
Though it's possible your connection may have been disrupted in some way too, just maybe not as noticeably due to, I would assume, your service.
Or distance, considering it's on another fucking continent.
Well, I don't know how all this works. I should assume, no offense, Vinteth, maybe her connection is stronger, and thus this disruption was less noticeable.
Could be. She has been a servant much longer than I am. Have.
I need Vinteth, I would like you to give me a persuasion check with advantage.
16.
You see her kind of exhale. Her shoulders kind of slump a little bit. You are right. I am much older and been doing this a long time. And distance for me is less of an issue. This church, and you see her kind of look around at the walls and the pools. This place is beyond sacred for a reason. She kind of gestures at the pools around her. The bleeding heart of Soren Lin is a name, but also an act. It's said that after the night of the Second Grand Covenant being signed and officiated by Crowan and the deities involved, though they were all in agreement of the accord, Soren Lin felt the hardest for those that would become the sacrifice, and for those deities that created their own people, their races. She gestures at the 5 pools on the ground. The greenskins, the dwarfs, the halflings, the beast folk, and the gnomes. 5 other races of people that were created that caused the Second Grand Covenant. The pools of blood were Soren Lin's sacrifice. Her blood. A temple for her people to always be connected to what would be lost.
I'm just kind of like huh? My jaw's gonna drop and I'm gonna look back at the pool of blood like I was inside the mother's blood.
This is the first church of Soren Lin, the bleeding heart of Soren Lin.
Wow.
The first church?
The first
The
church.
first church.
That's pretty cool. How about that? Wait, like the actual first. Huh. I just kind of like look. I'm just at this point. I just shut up. I'm just looking at Vintav. I'm just trying to see how he's processing that.
I'm fucking bewildered. I'm like, oh, so many things make so much more sense now. But she guided me here, so it's like,
I'm assuming this is not common knowledge.
Rumors and tales do spread once in a while, but you know how rumors and tales go. But as I said, I have been here for a long time.
Wait, that how many priestesses have there been, if I may ask?
For this church,
Yes.
just two. Myself and my mother before me.
Interesting.
Again, I just kind of like turn and like look at Vintav.
But,
Like I'm
yeah,
waiting,
that's what I was
like
thinking
I'm
too.
waiting, like I'm waiting for some follow up here. I'm really Ravi is trying really hard not to burst out with like 18 questions because I assume there's a lot of stuff that Vintav is just too shocked to get out right now.
I'm just
So
staring at her.
I just kind of like turn.
I'm honored. I didn't know. I'm sorry for yelling at you, sister.
It's quite okay when you've been doing this as long as I have. You're accustomed to the occasional emotional outburst. It's fine.
Wait, so your mother was one of her original creations. I mean, she was not born in the traditional. She was made.
As
What?
far as I know.
A light just goes off on my head, and I was like, wait, whoa. So you're second generation after the initial.
What was it? If I may ask, was it your mother after? I mean, as she was one of the. I don't even know what to call it. Originals. I'm trying to be respectful, and I realize I don't quite have the grasp of exactly how. First generation. That's what I'll. Yes.
What's the fantasy
use
word for OG?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. OEs, I guess, original elves, right?
The progenitors, dude.
Mm. So she was one of these first generations. Were they picked and placed into the service of Soren Lin, or did they choose to be in? Did your mother specifically choose to be in her service?
Well, unfortunately, much like most of the time period of the early days, it's all a bit fuzzy. My mother didn't talk much about growing up or a childhood. It's hard to pinpoint exactly when and where and how um, people started to be, and when the gods directly involved, I suppose. From how I understand it from my mother in the brief times that she would speak of her past, there was a time when the gods weren't around, like weren't named, weren't as active, I suppose, as they are now. Um, Worship seemed to have grown, I guess, naturally
I see.
a certain point. But it
But
wasn't like they were created and Soren Lin addressed all of her creation and said, "You are now elves and you shall do my bidding," or something like that, as far as
well,
I understand it, at least.
I mean, by the sound of it, it could have been, right? You said your mother doesn't remember the beginning, and in fact, it sounds like years. Am I interpreting that correctly? Years of lost time.
Well, at least she didn't talk about it. I can't say. She never talked about being, her teenage years, her early hundreds, I suppose.
That's it- I guess this must be quite mind blowing to you, too, Valia.
I,
You've been completely silent. I feel like I'd love to.
listen,
You're in a different school
I,
of thought.
there's just so many questions I have, but I just don't know where to begin. And I know more than either one of us, Ravi. Vintev's the one who has way more going on. I don't even know how he's reacting. He seems like he's in shock right now.
That's what I'm assuming.
I don't.
The face is a calm veneer, but I think underneath it's
It's,
probably chaos.
it just makes me curious to see if, man, who else is still alive who knows about the past, about how we came to be. Maybe they even met, some of these gods, and they just never recorded it. It's just kind of hard to wrap my mind around. It's interesting,
Yes.
to say the least. And also, Ravi, now you know to be a little bit more respectful when you just walk into places. Just,
That's
just a side note.
that's probably fair. It's yes, that's fine, fine. Wait, so what do I mean? We watched Vintet emerging from the pool. Is it all visions? I mean, do they do different things? I genuinely I have so many questions. So please tell me about.
I'm gonna snap out of it and be
Cool.
like, good question. Does everybody who comes here and prays have visions and commune with the mother?
Dude,
I'm going like a mile a minute. Like
I
I've been like she spoke to me directly. Does everybody speak to her directly when they come here? Like
No, of course not. No, it's just a way to get, I guess, a more direct connection and feeling to the mother. It affects everybody differently. Some very few have talked about having visions or of seeing, visages of the mother, different, you know, things. Depends on what you're seeking, I suppose, to some degree. Um, each pool doesn't necessarily do something different. It's all in connection to her. I suppose they are all slightly in tune to different feelings, different traits, depending on
Hmm.
who she bled for, I suppose, is always the point.
I'm gonna in that pool. I'm gonna gesture toward the one that she came out of, the one I went into. What pool is this one specifically? I'm assuming I made a good choice.
Let's see that pool. Consulting the notes. So the pool that you exit from was the pool of. Yeah, okay. That is Bellamy's pool.
Bellamy's pool.
Wait,
Pool of
Bellamy's, but
halflings.
so the pools correspond with the various gods or goddesses that each created a race.
Yes, it was the mother's way of showing that she felt for those that followed her suit in creating something of their own.
So I kind of gesture broadly. What? Which are the others?
So coming when you first walk in, there's 3 pools on the left-hand side, there's 2 pools on the right-hand side. The 3 pools on the left-hand side, she points out, are Vindala, Bellamy, Orgoth. The other side is Zaffi, Hondrick.
Got it.
All right, so one more time, sorry, because I was trying to like put a little diagram thing.
Sure. So
Walk in, 3 on the right, 2 on the left.
3 left, 2 right.
3 left, 2 right. Oh shit.
And it's Vindala, Bellamy, Orgath.
Yep.
Other side, it's Zaffi and Hondrick. Obviously, if you up on World Anvil, but that is the equation of beast folk, halflings, greenskins, gnomes, dwarfs.
I was definitely not just doing all of that as we spoke.
But yeah, the 5 other gods of creation.
Yep. Wait, so going into Bellamy's pool gave you a vision of this place you said destroyed, or in some sort of peril.
4 of the pools were dried up, except for the pool that I came out of. Do I remember what pool I came out of? Was it the same one?
Give me a straight intelligence check.
Oh fuck. 9.
I mean, she should know, right? Even if he doesn't, she
No,
knows.
no. I remember what pool I came out of here, but I mean in the vision.
Oh, okay.
You know you came out on the left. You're not sure which one.
Okay.
Interesting. But so Vinteth, if you had all of this information, why don't you? I mean, assuming I kind of look towards Tess, like assuming you can, why don't you try the others?
I'm more than willing. But my only concern is that towards the end of the vision, the mother quite forcefully pushed me out of the pool with a message that what has happened has not yet happened, essentially.
She told you you were viewing future events.
What I've seen is what's to come. What has happened has not happened yet.
She said is to come, not
Yep.
may come.
Yep.
Right.
That is correct. I'm gonna look at Tress and be like, should this prove true, and I trust the mother, you are going to come into contact and meet this foreign Singal guy. Person, whatever they are. I don't know if they're an elf like us. I don't know if they're one of the 5 races. But it's in near future too.
Well, I will certainly be on the lookout. Yes, I would. Look, you are all welcome here anytime. If you are already forced out of a pool, I would not recommend going into another one probably today. I do though have to, and she kind of looks up at the kind of looks out the door to where like the sun is like hitting the doorway. It's been lovely to meet all of you. I do need to get ready for my next prayer, and she kind of looks at the next pool that she has to go into. You get the sense that she has a like cadence of which pool she goes into every pool every day.
Yeah.
In a time period.
I'm gonna put my hand on her shoulder and be like, sister, it's been an honor to meet you. I thank you for your time. If you get any information or the mother speaks to you, I will be back. Whatever's coming does not seem good. And I couldn't figure out if the arrival was Foreign Zingal taking too long to come back when you spoke to him, or if the arrival took too long to happen. I couldn't make it out.
I appreciate the information, and it's been a pleasure to meet you all, and I look forward to your return.
I'll get the hint. I'll just turn around and walk away.
I'll follow behind Vintev. If he's not staying, I'm certainly not
Yeah.
staying.
Go.
Thank you, Tress.
Cool.
Thank you, Tress. I do hope we will return.
As the 3 of you exit, you watch her steal herself a moment, and she enters into the 3rd pool on the left, into the pool of Orgath. Meanwhile, about 10 or 15 minutes went by while they were in there. Saishori and Seven, anything you guys want to do? After being
And so it continues.
rudely kicked out by Vintev.
And now
I'm
she's
just picking up
trapped
the
with Seven
sword.
on his line of questioning.
I've been listening to my rock.
Okay.
That's good.
So,
But which rock?
Well, he said it's been 15 minutes, so either
Oh,
it's been 10
15.
minutes of message, or 10 minutes of message and shadow people, or 15 minutes of message, depending on which rock.
Yeah.
But
So-
one of them is outside of church.
Oh no! I like to think Zaishori would have put a stop to that.
She's got her sword.
It's the wrong rock.
I have ears.
about 15 minutes go by, and eventually the 3 elf boys exit the Church of Soren Lin, to see Saishori and Seven waiting patiently outside, sword in hand, rock in other hand.
Oh. So hurt.
I'll actually apologize and say like, I'm sorry but it's a created by Soren Lin thing. I wasn't sure if she would be willing to speak with any non-elves in the room.
I get it. It's fine.
You could have
That
said
said,
that nicer.
though,
I
you
could have hit
missed
your
some-
shirt.
Well, sorry, Sev, go on.
Oh. Like, I could have been listening to this rock the whole time, but I didn't.
Outside of a church of Soren Lin, probably a good idea. In fact, you probably only need the rock I gave you. I don't think you need that one anymore.
I need both rocks.
You do not.
I want to try to convince Robbie that I need them.
Oh shit. Well, I guess we gotta wait to see how Roach is gonna rule that one.
Yeah.
So what
That said,
happened?
I assume we're gonna yada yada the whole. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we won't. I was gonna say in terms of like the explanation of everything, but
Huh.
I was gonna do my whole like as I accidentally cut off 7. I was gonna say yes, but all of that said, Saishori, you missed some absolutely wild shit in there. So yeah, we should probably
me
recount
up.
that.
Was there
Yeah.
a fight? What did I miss?
No, just it was. I'm genuinely shocked,
Oh.
and
Shocked. What happened?
impressed, shocked, bewildered, all the extreme emotions.
I'm just gonna stand there smirking at him while he's saying this.
I mean, look, I'm not immune to all of this. I mean, even before the shit, I forgot to ask her. I forgot. God damn it! There's a whole reason I went in there. Forgot to ask her about this bullshit. Oh, okay. Let me put that aside for a moment because this was good enough. That Vintef, please, I won't take this away from you. You deserve to announce this.
I'm just gonna stand and like straighten my back, turn around, and gesture broadly towards the building. You stand in the presence of the first church of Soren Lin. The first.
What does that mean?
The first.
The
Ever.
original.
The original church of Soren Lin. Where the original caretaker was the mother of the caretaker now. When I say original, I mean
Generation elf.
the
There was
first.
a goddess.
Imagine how much she could teach us.
Teach us
Tickers,
about
I need to
what?
calm down.
Did she know anything about Rootborg?
You know, she probably could.
She might.
Nope.
We can
I'm
ask
holding
her
up
if
my
we come
special
back.
rock,
When we come
the
back.
bad rock.
So goddesses and gods were just among people at one point.
I didn't get a chance to ask. There's way too much going on. Let's
Yeah,
let's walk. We need
Yeah. We are unfortunately contractually obligated to get this blood back from Schmidt.
we're losing
Because
daylight.
if we were
And
not, fuck that.
we're losing
I'm
daylight, and I
saying-
want to get this bullshit over with so I can get back here as soon as possible.
Yes, let's go. For God's sakes, let's get the horses, get this back to him, and let's just brush our hands of Schmidt and move on. For God's sake,
Fine.
Poor
this
Schmidt.
is much more interesting.
All right. So what's the plan?
We are getting the fuck out of town.
Horses.
It didn't sound like anyone disagreed with this plan.
Cool. So the 5 of you make your way through town, grab a cart and a couple horses. For that, assuming renting for a couple of days, gonna be about 3 or 4 days there. About a week worth of rental on horse, 2 horses and a cart. Probably run you about, call it 5 gold.
Sure, I'll just toss that out. I'm not gonna do party fun shit right now.
Cool.
My suit.
It'll be ready in a couple days.
We're
Oh,
coming
so
back,
That's
Seven.
why we're
day.
going, Seven. It's going to all be there when we come back.
It better be Ravi, or I will hit
Are
you.
you threatening me? I'm not the one making the goddamn suit. Seven, we are
If
bound.
someone else buys it,
We are
'cause I didn't
bound
get
by
it in
decree.
time.
Did you not tell them you wouldn't be back for potentially a week? You knew what
Nope.
we were doing, Seven.
Nope.
You're
I
the
thought
worst.
we were supposed to be in town for a couple days. It's been one. Be ready in 2 days.
Who, Seven, who could possibly buy a suit that would fucking fit you?
With assless chaps.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that part. Oh, yes, let's not forget.
Mr. Dory might with his romanticalness.
While we're
He's spent a
walking
good
and doing
one.
all this, I have paper and ink out, trying to like recall everything that we talked about.
Write that
The
down.
vision,
Write
everything,
that
like
down.
everything.
Okay.
Like,
Yep.
especially the vision. Like, focus on the vision.
Cool.
Yeah, I've got stuff to ask Vinteth, but I'll wait till he's done doing his thing.
Hey
I assume
guys.
we've got some days of travel ahead, so I assume we're.
Yep.
Hey guys. Do you want to tell the broker about the first church?
I don't see any reason to do that personally.
Okay.
It's not relevant to our quest right now. You know what he's paying us for, and I think that again could be useful information to hold. Also, I think we should default to Vinteth on that.
I'm just gonna look up and be like, the grandfather cometh. Are we the grandchildren? Like,
As you can see, he's got a lot going on right now. So maybe let him sort that out for a few days of travel, and then we can figure out if we want to tell the broker anything. I mean,
just picture that fucking Charlie meme from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Just like this guy and this guy, and there's
Yeah.
us and this us. And
Yep.
here's a Venn diagram, and we're all connected. And grandfather could it be the grandfather
Yeah,
of the deities? Could it be our grandfather?
DM, we kind of yada yada the explanation to
Yeah.
Zaishori
Everybody else.
and Seven.
Do I
But
have
yeah,
a grandfather?
but at this point, I kind of say like, look, if Vinteth, when he snaps out of this and gets all this down from ink to paper, if he tells us yes, we need to inform the broker because of whatever reasons may come, then sure. But if he wants to hold it close to the vest,
I'm
I would defer.
scribbling over here. Not yet.
Yes, it's let him do his thing.
I'm gonna tell the broker about my new suit.
That's no one
And my
can stop
new
you
weapons.
from doing so, Seven.
Yeah.
I think we're the grandchildren, which means, oh God, what does it mean?
I
It
must tell
means
the
that she
broker
is still
that
the
I think
mother.
Vinteth
Do you
will
hear
accept
yourself?
Yeah, but that has nothing to do.
Vinteth, are you saying you've never considered the fact that Sora Lynn may have been created by another?
Yes,
This
but
was
why
pretty basic
would
first-level
their
common
creator
sense.
come here?
Admittedly, I don't have a good answer for that right now.
The stories go the siblings came here. Where did all the other deities come from?
I mean, are these not questions that were posed under the Church of Sora Lynn already?
There's
It-
so
These
many
are questions
questions.
posed by academics, but then we end up just moving along to other inquiries.
Well, they're doing this. I'm gonna hit my one rock, and I'm gonna pray to Rugbart to see if he knows who the grandfather is. Is that all right?
Honestly, not the worst. Not the worst
Not a
idea.
bad idea.
You know?
I mean, I was gonna say, if he hits one of those classic 20s, we could be getting a nice
Right?
Rudbarg explanation of, yeah, I knew him. You know, he was all right. You know, yeah, he's
a
Sorlin's
dude.
dad. He was a cool dude.
It's me, guys. It's me. Sorry,
Versus, oh my god, he was such a fucking drunk. He's gonna come here and just savage shit.
that guy's
You
an
are-
asshole. He beat his kids. They ran away from home. They
They
created this
laughed.
place.
Yeah, I'm gonna create my own world, Dad. Fuck you.
With
Alright, I'm
hookers
done.
and blackjack.
Sorry.
Yeah.
This is just,
Joke had to be made.
yeah, it just had to.
All right. So you, the five of you, have gathered the horses and a cart. You've made your way out of town on your way to go reconnect with Captain Schmidt-Torin to deliver his Manicore blood so he can re-shrink his vessel into a bottle so he can transport it back to where he needs to. All while having these conversations, especially as you get further out of town and Vinteth is not screaming about the grandfather in the middle of the town with a bunch of elves nearby. So you try praying out to Rugbarg. You don't get a response
Okay.
that you can interpret, at least.
That I can interpret.
Interesting.
But it was probably about midday when you guys left. You get a few hours of travel behind you, plenty of time to talk. You have you have a couple of days of travel to get back to where you left Schmidt. I need one of you to give me a survival check to recall, just so you don't get lost, essentially. I know you're keeping it around the coast.
Are we given post to Valir? I think we did that on the way here, right?
Sure, I could roll it.
I was gonna say, I was thinking whoever was the one who did it on the way here should be the one doing it on the way back. It just makes more sense.
Sure. Okay.
Trash.
I mean, again, it's not super difficult. It's not the 1 year roll on the way here.
I unfortunately, I can't give you a chronal shift. I can't justify. Like, I feel like we're going in the wrong direction. No idea.
I mean, you do feel like you're going in the wrong direction.
That's true. All the time. Except if we're going in one very particular direction. God damn it, Roach.
So, the five of you make your way. Valir kind of, again, it's not difficult. You're just staying along the banks of the coast because that's where you left him. But you travel for a few hours. Nightfall eventually comes. You settle down for the evening. You have plenty of questions to ask. Plenty of time to discuss. Suji.
What up?
Suji, you just finished a long day of crafting. You had a really good day of, separating out the imperfections of the Nelfinian ore and getting like a lot of your things set up, and you impressed Dory in an extent that he was now like actively helping you and giving you, whatever you needed. The two of you, after a long hot day, get out of the the blacksmithing forge, hit that night air on your chest. The two of you go get a drink, get some dinner, get to chatting, just general getting to know each other.
Oh, they're on a date. That's cute.
Dory Way just witnessed the greatest blacksmith he's ever seen in his entire life. So maybe he's like, am I attracted to him? I don't know.
Dory Way is sitting there. What is romantic love?
Sure.
Yes. Amazing. What a close to that arc.
But the two of you go, you have dinners, you have a couple of drinks. He's giving you this like, I honestly, like I said, I was expecting you to light yourself on fire within the first hour or two. But no, you other than not knowing the names, and I can help you with that. And he's like, willing to teach you like the technical terms of these things that you are just like, pointing at and saying like, give me the smashy thing or like the clipper stuff.
Planks.
But the two of you have an opportunity to kind of just catch up and relax, knowing that you still have a couple of days of solid work ahead of you. I need you, as you guys leave the tavern and are starting to head back towards the blacksmith, like the smithy, the shop, that night. Give me a perception check.
That's for everyone else, not me, right?
No, that's for you.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I made a face. I was like, oh, that's concerning.
Oh,
Nice.
Okay.
Suji, as you and Dory are kind of making your way, not drunk, but you've had a couple of drinks and just like enjoying the night's air and getting ready to go back. And he offered, he has a spare bedroom. He's like, yeah, come stay at my place. Don't worry about staying at a fucking tavern. That's fucking stupid. You two of you start making your way back towards the blacksmithy place, and Suji, you notice as you're probably walking for a block or two, it's later in the evening. There's you clock a couple of figures that have been following you since you left the tavern.
Hey Tori, have you noticed those guys kind of constantly being around? Like don't look too hard, but over there.
Kind of seem like half like side eyes. It's like, no, I think I saw him over at the Soggy Sahagwin. They were at a table. Didn't notice that they left when we left.
Yeah, just throughout the night, I kind of noticed them like almost like they were looking at us a bit more. Like I didn't really think anything of it, but now that they're here, it's kind of weird.
Should we go see what's up?
But I don't think I really want to directly interact with them. We should maybe have ourselves prepared.
You see him like crack a knuckle or two. All right, I'm prepared. But you guys travel another block or two, and keeping an eye just behind you. Not hard to track. They're trying to be stealth. They're trying to be silent. They're trying to like blend in. They're trying to like duck between alleyways, but they're not doing a good enough job to escape your eye, as you are already caught them once and are keen on the fact of their movements. They are definitely following you as you approach the entrance of Way Schmelted and Delted.
They're definitely still here. You feel like it's safe to go inside? I mean, we clearly have plenty of weapons in there.
I mean, they're not friends of yours. They're certainly not friends of mine.
Is there any types of guards or anything around this area?
Probably a couple blocks out, maybe towards the center of town. They're usually not down this way. You're better off protecting your own shit or paying for someone to protect your shit than actual guard presence nowadays.
I'll watch behind while you're opening the door, but I say we just lock the door once we get in.
Cool. See, Dory goes over to the door as he starts to unlock it. realizing they've been seen, you see the 3 figures start to approach the doorway as well. Give me another perception check. All right.
A little different.
A little bit different.
When the
I mean,
drink starts hitting.
It's not a hard check. I mean, they're walking directly towards you. There's the slight, it's dark, but that doesn't mean anything to you with your dark vision. You see, it's hard to make out like exact facial features, but you see 3 different build elvish gentlemen, all wearing similar cut 3-piece suits, slick black hair. You don't get many other facial features, but that's what you can kind of make out in the night as they kind of approach you and Dory. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. What business do you have?
Well, you see, that's where the unfortunate part comes in. A friend of yours, we told him no funny business, and he was supposed to meet us this afternoon. And seems like he skipped town. But he left you here, which is, fantastic for us, I suppose. So we're gonna have to teach him a lesson, and that means, unfortunately, we're gonna have to teach you a lesson. I need you to roll for initiative.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh gosh.
Man, the immediate punish for splitting the party even a little bit.
As the
It does make sense, though. We
Yeah,
did
the
do it to
time.
ourselves.
Track about 8.
as an 8, yes. But as these 3 elven gentlemen in 3-piece suits approach you, Suji, you see the one in front of you pulls out kind of like a short dagger. The kind of like taller, skinnier one behind him pulls out this rapier, and you just see the large one kind of crack his knuckles. Dory turns around and says, "Well, I mean, this is where I work, so I guess I'm technically protecting myself, right?"
Yes. Dory, wait, let's go.
And that's where we'll pick up next week.
Oh,
I can't fucking wait. Oh, man. I can't wait.
Suji's
God.
about to
It'd be a
blow these
great-
dudes' minds, dude.
It's gonna be a great fight too. Because it's great too because he gets a week to prepare. And just to think, okay, all right, we don't know how dangerous these guys are. I don't know how good Dory Way is. He could be all smoke and mirrors for all we know. So he's got to come up with a plan.
I waited to see if Valir said anything before you guys left town. I'm like, all right.
We can't make him talk about the circumstances in full detail. I pressed him. He only cracked with very minor details, and I didn't press him further. So
Hey, I think everyone played it exactly how they wanted to play it.
Exactly. It didn't feel right to push him more. It just felt like, all right, I felt like I got the truth out of him. Finally, okay, fine.
yeah.
We're good now. But
I just think people didn't put together the fact that these guys made the connection that your friends were in town, because they made a very good point that they got you away from your friends.
that's true. Yeah, I
And
guess
you left-
fuck. Somebody should have realized that.
I know nothing.
Yeah, that they knew who Suji was.
Yeah, we kind of
Shit.
forgot to bring that up to Vintef. I think we were just too holy crap, this is the first church.
Vintef
Yeah.
doesn't give a fuck. Let Suji deal with it.
Well, you wanted to keep some of that information secret for some reason. I'm assuming there's a good reason, but I don't know what the fuck that reason is yet. Because I don't understand why certain parts, I assume there's something going on with your backstory or just your characterization, and I'm excited to find out. But me as the player right now, I'm like, God damn it, will you just fucking... We're trying to help you, man.
So I will, again, this is not condoning Vinteth or Joe's behavior. But the funny thing about it is he actually made the right decision because she would have held back more if Saishori and 7 non-elves were in the room.
Interesting. Wow.
Dang.
Damn.
Right?
So for Soren Lin,
Great
racism wins.
Yeah.
Not so much that.
It's a holy place in the 5. They're not the 5 races. They're not elves. Get the
Yeah,
fuck
they're,
out.
You know, they're unnatural.
They're not
you might
family.
say.
How dare you say I'm unnatural?
No, I'm not. I am mocking this hypothetical god.
She would have held back certain information.
Yeah, and in which case, again, I'm not saying, look, Ravi
Not
doesn't.
condoning your behavior.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Robbie doesn't condone the behavior, but he understands. Like, all right, well, maybe he's right though. Like, who knows? She'd be crazy.
7 should have thrown the bad rock in there while they were talking directly at him.
Then we definitely would not have gotten any
Crazy.
information.
Yell at
Out
me, I'll
of-
teach you a lesson.
The church.
I'm glad my instinct was correct.
Yes, I will. No, I respected it. I felt like in character, it was like it felt bad, but it was like, maybe though. I don't. You don't fucking know.
Well, ideally,
no,
none of you were fucking there, but
Dude, I trusted Vinta because, like,
You-
if
No,
he's
exactly,
very
so did I.
secretive
And
with,
I
like,
wanted
of
to-
stuff, like, I was convinced.
I was
I
shocked.
feel a dead
in
body in the
moment.
closets.
Yeah.
I was shocked in the moment that he didn't try to get that he didn't. God damn it! Sorry, hold on. That he didn't try to get all of us out. So I was trying to be as good as possible because it was like, oh shit, I'm gonna get to learn some of this. Like, okay, yeah.
I mean, I did, but I didn't want to make a scene in front of Tress and in this holy place, and it would have turned into a fucking big argument fight. It's like, elves can stay, everybody get the fuck out.
That was a good compromise because if you tried to kick us all out, it'd been like, come on.
You would have fought me on it.
I'm her son, though. You know. I deserve to know.
That's my mama too.
Damn right.
Since when do you give a fuck?
As I said, I've had revolution related to religion. Just there might be, and then of course I forget to ask her. No, genuinely, no. See, that's the thing. I played it off in character, but no, that was me as the player. I came in there like, I'm gonna ask her if she's ever heard of anyone being forced into servitude, and then I played to it with the comment about the mom. But then we got distracted and off topic, and I never got to directly ask, like, "Hey, so what about any of these lower deities?" Just being like, "Oh, you're my follower now." You ever heard about that happening with the mother?
Yeah, the funny thing was when she made the comment about those that were have been touched by gods and felt their presence. I rolled a nat 1 to see the markings on your neck.
That was the roll. Oh, okay, that was the second roll. Yep.
Nothing.
That's fair.
Yeah.
God damn it. Well, hey, hopefully we're back. Knowing my luck, we'll be back after the vision. The church is destroyed. Tess gone. Guess we'll never know.
So what were those first rolls for then?
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're able to tell us, I am very curious when I asked her about the bodies in the basement, what that roll was for. I'm thinking there was possibility of me being thrown out in that moment.
She was gauging if you were fucking with her or not.
Oh, okay, that's fair. It was half and half. There was, it was like that slight level of seriousness. Like, no, just hey, you want to go on a date? No, it's just a joke, but maybe.
If you want to, I do.
Yeah, haha, JK. But if.
But again, she's used to weird comments like that because if you have somebody who's not familiar walk into your church and there's 5 pools of blood on the ground, so she's not not
fair.
adverse to those conversations, but she was just kind of gauging what that question meant.
Yeah, well, all of our association with Vinteth has led to let's be honest here, the most disturbing things in this campaign by a wide margin.
Yes.
Nobody else has had this level of disturbing shit in our presence. I mean, it's the two big events. What it is, it's the bodies and it's the ghost town. But for most of the characters in this campaign, they've never encountered anything like either of those things.
Aye.
Oh, like
You know, not all of us just savagely tear down goblins one after another with just an efficiency and brutality. That's all right. I'm done. I'm just, just again the thought of Zaishuri just.
it's good times. It's fine.
Oh shit! All right, I'm calling the stream there. Good night. Happy 2 years.
Night,
Happy
Two,
2
two,
years.
two.
Two.
2 years.
Starting 3, beginning of 3.
Beginning of 3
Yeah.
to the 3rd year.